This world is not entirely what it seems. 75 miles northeast of Houston, Texas, is the town of Saratoga. On the surface, it looks like a small, quaint Texas town, but it holds a dark secret. Because north of the town of Saratoga is one of the most haunted places in all of Texas. This place is known as Bragg Road. During the day, it just looks like a regular dirt road, but at night, you may see glowing orbs of unknown origin. This documentary will not be about Bragg Road. It's about Utah. To be more specific, it's about Park City, Utah, because I've been stuck here for the past 2.5 weeks. I'll not be able to get back home until a few days before the project is due, so that's not enough time to do a documentary about Bragg Road. So here's a tourism guide about Park City, Utah. The problem is that I only thought I'd be in Park City, Utah for a week, so I didn't bring a lot of my equipment with me. So I don't have a tripod and I don't have a microphone. So let's see how this turns out. One interesting thing about Utah as a whole is that it has the largest Mormon population in all of the United States. Here's my dad, who just happens to know a lot about Mormons.
So the origin of the Church of Latter-day Saints, as I understand it, otherwise called the Mormons, began in New England, where a man named John Smith found some golden tablets in the hills of New England that he determined to be an original Bible from one of the 7 lost tribes of Israel. And out of that grew a following that developed to the point where it became noticed, I guess, by the other religions, and they began to suffer from persecution from the more established religions. And so he moved his faith to western U.S., to areas where he could escape that persecution. They could continue to grow, initially Illinois, then Missouri, and as I understand it from there, ultimately up to Salt Lake City, where they thrived for many, many years in isolation until they reached a time where silver was discovered up here as part of the overall gold rush or movement to the western U.S. in search of fame and fortune mostly. And having now been rediscovered, ran into conflict with then the government of the United States in a series of confrontations that again brought to the forefront the differences in their philosophies.
Point is that Mormonism has affected the laws of Utah. All bartenders are required to ID everyone who even so much as looks under 30. So I get ID'd here more than I did in Vegas.
So I'm Irish, and the Irish have a reputation for knowing a good social hangout, also known as a bar. So whenever I go to a different town, city, country, I do like to check out the different social environments. So Park City is well equipped with many bars, restaurants, etc. Haven't been to a club like those two. So there's a great bar here called The Spur, and what I like about it especially is that every night it has live music from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And it's really great because it has enough people, but it's not extremely crowded, so you don't feel squashed or cramped. And it has beautiful big windows, so you can be down the street or 2 blocks away and you hear the music calling you. And so I have to answer, I go. Then down the street, there's an Irish bar called Flanagan's, and they have some pretty good food, so I would recommend that one too. Across the street from Flanagan's, there is a bar called the No Name Saloon. And it...
Park City had a lot of nice restaurants and bars. But getting ID'd so you can feel younger isn't the only thing you can do in Utah. There's also a lot of mountains.
So we're staying in the Park City side of things, but we decided to hike over in Deer Valley today. So we left where we're staying, and it's probably about a mile walk, kind of through some trails to go from towards the base of the Deer Valley ski area. And so when we arrived, we rode up one of the ski chairs to the mid-mountain areas, and then we decided to choose the Ontario Trail, which is about a 5-mile there and out and back trek. We weren't going to do all of it. We got started a little late in the day, but we made it up probably about 2 miles to a reservoir that's mid-mountain, and then worked our way back down to the base area. Probably took about 2 hours-ish maybe for us. Then we had a nice lunch at their mid-mountain, followed by taking the chairlift up to one of the peaks at Deer Valley, where we hiked around and took in some of the views of the surrounding mountain ranges. Then we slowly worked our way back home, and followed our trek a mile back to Park City.
Perhaps you'd like to hear from someone who is in Utah for the very first time.
A couple months ago, we were given the invitation to come up to Utah with the family and spend some time here. I'd never been to Utah, so I had some ideas in mind of what I thought it was going to be like, but it's been lovely so far. Leading up to it, I thought that flying into Salt Lake City would be similar to what it's like in Austin, because nowadays a lot of young people want to move either to Salt Lake City or to Austin, so I thought it'd be pretty similar. We got in the evening, so I got a sense of the city that it was maybe as big or similar to Austin, but we didn't get to see much of it because we drove straight up to Park City. Coming into Park City, didn't get to see much because it was nighttime, but my preconceived notions were that it was going to be similar to some towns that I've been to in Colorado. Since being here, I do think it's pretty similar. There's nice mountains, good views, good hikes, good food, but the town here in the main street I think is a little bit more fun than others that I've been to in Colorado. So far it has exceeded my expectations.
So that's Utah, everybody. If you like mountains and if you like Mormons, then come on down. But if you like mountains and you want to be able to smoke weed, then you should probably go to Colorado instead. This is a baby cow. And this is a dog. Goodbye.
So, woke up and had a very casual morning. The sunrise, looking at the balcony, looking at the city in the morning, having coffee is a great way to start the day. All right. What do you? It's roughly a 5-mile trek. Our crew chose to go about 2.5 miles into it to see a lake. Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
Wait,
Do you have to ask a question? Sean, come back.
Dude, just talk about what you were talking about already.
So we're staying in Park City, but today we decided to hike on the Deer Valley side. So we left our residence and tried to, I gotta do that again.